backed, but they can go off. And so they may be against the best team right now in the LPL, without a doubt. That doesn't mean that you take LGD as an easy victory.
They've got some superstars on their team, but we're in Champions League for game number 1 between EDG and LGD. As Siva, Karma, and Rise are the bans that will come out from EDG, Maokai, LeBlanc, and Vladimir. LGD's ban, and in typical EDG fashion, they started this trend off. They're going to lock in Braum as their first pick.
Yeah, so they take that Braum away, doesn't reveal their hand, and I'm not too concerned about that as a first pick with the Vlad Rise both taken off the board. Trundle perhaps could have been looked at. We know Mouse can play it, but he's even shown that he can still play Echo at the moment. And it shows they don't prioritize too heavy-handed on that jungle role. Klilov can play an abundance of champions. No point first picking Rek'Sai anymore. He's got the Kha'Zix even.
I'm going to look to see what LGD pick up during their first pick rotation. Hecarim is locked in for Amy, and Gnar is going to be a first pick that comes out for LGD for Marin.
Yeah, so Marin picking up the Gnar, not really caring what he's against. There's two trains of thoughts with that early rotation of the Gnar. It's a counter to Trundle, firstly. And so we may see the Trundle response from us, or it could alter EDG's draft because of it. So could be a forcible change. That, or they just really wanted the Gnar team composition where it involves the big Wombo flank.
Well, there have been a couple of times on red side where LGD just decide they want to pick according to their position. So let's see if they go with that train of thought again.
They actually are right now. Oh, yeah. I'm ready for it.
I wouldn't be too surprised if that happens, but EDG now looking for their next 2 picks. Rek'Sai was still left open. We saw that a lot during the last series. Actually, in both games last series, we saw a lot of this, where Rek'Sai would be picked into Hecarim. And it's going to be locked in. In fact, they pick up Rumble as their pick of choice for Mouse on the top lane.
Now, I don't want to say anything too outrageous at the moment, but yeah, no, we just saw that. We can. That's a Twitch. I think what we are about to see, though, is the Rumble potentially flexed. And I don't want to say like anything outrageous. I know that Pawn can play everything under the sun. He's a Pantheon main at the moment, so if you see that hovered at all, don't be too shocked. But I know Mouse can play it. We'll see how he goes, but I'm just saying.
Doing it, Rusty. They've done it.
About it. Yeah, they're picking for their roles. It's genius.
LGD have done it again, where they're going to be picking red side in according to what they're going to be playing on Summoner's Rift. And it really just feels like they're picking what they like. Imp is playing Twitch again here. One of his signature champions. He has a skin for it as well.
Yes. I didn't want to say anything about the skin in particular, but Imp instant locking it, playing against EDG. I hope he plays his skin.
Be better. On the flip side, we're still waiting to see what EDG lock in as their final 2 picks. Lots of damage actually coming out from LGD's lineup. Everyone they've locked in so far does massive amounts of damage for their role.
Yeah, they know what the solo lane positions are going to be from LGD. There's no real concern on blue side right now with blind picking anything besides the bottom lane 2v2. And you put an Ezreal with a Braum as an example, it doesn't even matter what the support is at that stage. They can't surprise barge you. You've got the Braum to counter it.
There's the Ezreal. We touched on it briefly at the start of this broadcast. It's a pick that a lot of LPL AD carries go towards. It's one of the signature picks of the league. As Echo is going to be locked in as well as the final pick, so we could potentially see the flex of the Rumble.
There's going to be a flex either way. It's like, which one's the standard mid laner fish? Is it the Rumble or the Echo?
Well, we never know. We'll have to find out. There's PYL looking to try and pick up his own support.
He's all smiles too, look at him.
LGD are just all smiles at the moment. Imp was having a laugh when he instant locked that Twitch too.
They liked the Jhin Thresh combo, so PYL has played a little bit of it this split. Wouldn't be surprised to see it locked in again. We mentioned that the Bard may not be as important. They could Alistar all in if they wanted, but I really like PYL on Thresh. His early aggressive roaming style on this champion has been fantastic.
Well, he does lock it in, so LGD pick according to their positions. And we'll go with the Twitch and Thresh bottom lane combo. EDG, they've gone for Rumble and Echo. For now, it looks like they're going to be sending Rumble up to the top side of the map. They've got 15 more seconds to decide that one.
This is the most likely outcome. Yep. If they surprise us, then they might put the Rumble mid. But still, that means it's an assassin, essentially, in that middle lane. And a fragile one at that. Pawn, no surprises to see him back playing assassins.
So it is going to be the Echo being picked up in the mid lane by Pawn. Up against the Victor, which we saw a little bit of match being played. You know, lots of Echo played into control mages during MSI. So we know that Echo can do well in this matchup.
Yeah, well, the rule of thumb was it was actually played into a 0 a lot because you'd lose your lane, but you could ult yourself back to lane and regain most of your health. You'd run teleport usually as well, so that you can get around the map. And the ultimate was more of a tool to sustain yourself in lanes that you wouldn't normally win anyway. You look towards that late game, you've got heaps of assassination threat as well. And you give yourself a 1-3-1 strategy where you can either split push and Mouse can join, or you can just 1-3-1.
Lots of history between EDG and LGD, and already a very interesting and unique draft phase coming out from these two teams. But we're going to head on to Summoners for game number 1 and see what happens. We're on to Summoners Rift for game number 1 between EDG and LGD. And we've got it, Rusty. Not only have LGD have picked according to their position, Imp is going to be playing his skin here against Deft and Mako.
And it's not my place to question LGD's drafting by picking for themselves. But so be it, honestly, at this point.
Who knows? They could have been drafting this order and just coincidentally fit the champions that they were going to be playing.
Yeah, look, it's definitely possible. We won't count that out.
As we take a look at the Keystone Masteries very quickly. Strength of the Age is coming out from Thresh, so PYL not opting to go for Thunderlords. We see a lot more aggressive Thresh supports pick up. Warlord's Bloodlust are also going to be picked up by Imp.
Yeah, so looking to get themselves through laning phase if they choose to be standard. They know they're against the Braum Ezreal, so the choice is theirs. And Twitch doesn't have the greatest early laning, but can survive against Ezreals. Comes down to how they want to play this.
And actually looks like we're going to get Australian lanes again here between EDG and LGD. As Imp and PYL head towards the top side of the map. They're going to take down...
It's the best Gnar skin.
The Krugs camp at level 1.
It's the best Gnar skin.
It is?
Yeah. When he turns into Mega Gnar, you'll understand.
Okay.
It's glorious. Also, I forgot to mention that PYL's definitely cheating on them. He didn't go for the Samsung Thresh skin. He could have done it. They could have had the ultimate bottom lane synergy. But he just didn't want to do it.
That's probably why he was all smiles and debating with Imp. Imp was like, pick my skin.
Maybe, yeah.
Do it.
I actually believe that could have happened.
I would not be surprised.
We have to consistently look towards this middle lane, however, when we highlight EDG's play patterns to see if they can replicate what Scout was doing or if Pawn creates a different style entirely. When he plays the Assassins in that middle lane, it's no longer the late game Azir scaling.
Well, that's a lot of damage down towards Punish. Pawn already being very aggressive this mid lane. Unfortunately, he takes a turret shot for his troubles. But that was a very aggressive move coming out from the Echo. Chunks out Punish.
He does have an extra potion, and he also has the teleport advantage in this lane. So low health bars you would look at for EDG and say that it favors them to an extent. And of course, level 3 power spike is actually something that the Echo does love to have. But when we look at mid laners, we actually need to bring our attention to their buddies and their partners in crime.
Which will be both Clearlove and Amy. Clearlove being that more aggressive jungler in this matchup. Amy, like we said before, more passive. We'll see if he can have an impact coming into this game.
He's going to need to have one, that's for certain. We've seen Clearlove take games out by himself nearly. He's going to be a very influential factor to the game's outcome. Amy, known for not ganking a whole lot. He really does need to find his way and his footing in this.
Clearlove on the other side of the table, known for ganking, farming, counter-ganking, just everything really.
He has 2 different shades. It's dark or light, either aggressive or farm heavy. And he decides which one he's going to be.
Let's see which one he pulls out here today. Fernando, very passive between the two teams. Deft and Mako hit a nice Winter's Bite and Mystic shot together. Good synergy already.
Yeah, we actually already spoke towards the Keystone Masteries that LGD have put together for themselves. And it does feel like they just want to survive the lane and scale. And so it's not a surprise to see them pushed under tower. by a ridiculously good bottom lane duo.
It's Mara and Mouse duking it out in the bottom lane. Nah, about to hit Mega Nah. And we're not going to see it.
Yeah, I knew you were waiting for that.
I was waiting
Nice
for it, but
hook.
Def does get hit by the hook coming up from PYL. He's going to get locked down and exhausted though. Imp going very aggressively forward. Mako is trying to lock him down, get the concussive blows. That's a flash coming out. Not a flash, sorry. There's the Mega Nah. That is pretty cool. But
Amy's now bottom.
He's looking for a gank bottom lane. Mouse has to be very careful. A flash away. Mo's going to get taken down. A solo kill comes out
Teleport
from
to
him.
Tello.
As there is a teleport going to bottom lane. We can't look at him just yet. As here's the 5-second channel tie coming out from Pawn. We'll be able to jump on top of Amy. Gets lots of damage down. Parallel conversions doesn't land on top of it, but he still gets the kill. Even Clear Love shows up. EDG trade 2 for 1.
Yeah, Pawn turns up in the nick of time to at least get a trade. It's going to be teleported in to at least get the minions from Marin, but EDG, they show up. Very impressive start to this game. And that was actually Mouse 1v1ing Marin, who baited too hard.
A lot of people had questions about Mouse when he first joined the EDG lineup. He frankly did his role throughout most of this split, playing very well for them up in the top lane. And going one-on-one against Marin is no easy feat. He's done well so far.
It's not meant to be an easy thing to do, that is correct. But when Marin tries too hard to set Amy up for success, it felt like the communication between those two caused some problems. And near immediately into this game, we find ourselves with a 1-kill up Echo.
Still proactiveness coming out from Amy. He's able to pull a kill back for his team. But that's Pawn with a red buff. He's already been playing pretty well in this Echo. Very aggressive towards Punish.
Yeah, definitely. And that's just kind of the way you have to play the lane. Otherwise, you'll never win a trade. Amy has decided they want to give all of their attention to Marin's lane. They want him to succeed. Against the Rumble, it's definitely doable.
There's
wow.
The nice ultimate coming out from Marin. They're able to knock Mouse back mid-jump. They should be able to get a kill on towards this Rumble as Amy's going to pick that one up.
That was sick from Marin. Mid-form change, he throws the ultimate mid-bounce. It's something that is one of the harder mechanics to execute on as Nah. But he does it successfully, knocks him towards Amy also. Now 2-1 up.
Clear
He wants to farm.
Very sneaky. Decides to jump over them, picks up a single minion for himself as the teleport will come back from Mouse into the mid lane as Punish. Now getting jumped on. There's the parallel conversions as well as the Chaos Storm being dropped on top of Pawn. He takes a lot of damage. Got him. The ultimate goes back in, lands the Time Winder outplay coming out from Pawn as he's getting jumped on by Amy, but fancies a piece out of the jungler as well.
Every time Amy shows up, we see someone's face instead. Definitely well done for a Pawn. Big mechanic play. And every single time we see this guy in an assassin, he shows up big. This is no exception, and welcome back to the LPL Pawn.
2 kills to start things off. A solo kill in the mid lane, a good teleport bottom to finish off what Mouse started as well. He's been playing pretty well. It's up at the top side, man. PYL actually getting chunked out.
Yeah, deft out of mana, Mako with not enough health to sustain it, so that fight cannot continue for too much longer. They're actually sitting ducks right now. The wave's pushing towards them. They should just concede and not die to Amy.
He's waiting in Fog of War, trying not to stay in vision range. But LGD are pushing out.
Clear Love also level 6, but the tunnels nearby have just been broken.
He's heading towards the mid lane as well. Amy now pushing deeper in towards Clear Love's jungle. We'll actually find him in a second.
There it is.
There's the Rek'Sai. Spots out Amy. He's actually at half health. Has to be a little bit careful. Clear Love going for the fight. Gets the smite down, but doesn't slow Amy up enough. Cheeky board.
It pushes him out of the jungle, but Amy was already successful in that respect. Once again, the timing of Clear Love was right to prevent any even attempts at dives with this big stack of minion waves that crash. So LGD have to go back to base. They have to start again. And they don't get the deft.
It's a nice move came out from Def there. Forces him to not go back to base. Stops his recalls. Marin fancied red buff, but Clear Love was nearby.
Yeah, he would have found himself a Clear Love before he took that red buff out, so it makes sense that he backed away. LGD are looking proactive. They're making some good movements. They're not getting really far ahead from it, unfortunately, though, as Pawn is kind of a big deal. even though that they still killed Mouse, right? He's died twice. There's been a lot of attention from Amy. He found a kill the first time around. He's still got the gold. He's still farming decently well, and it feels like LGD are making right steps, but they stumble backwards every single time.
Certainly are. It's a big pond they have to go through if they want to try and win this game, because he's... Not again.
Things could not be more awkward for him.
Imp has had his recall cancelled 3 times in this lane already.
Not having a great time on Summoner's Rift. He's still a scaling champion and is about to get his Ghost Blade. He's not too far away. That'll be a big moment for LGD.
Def's done a good job though. Freezes the top side of the map after forcing him to recall pretty late in that lane. So may be able to pick up a good CS discrepancy for himself. Has the Sheen and the Tier completed on the Ezreal.
And we may only be 9 minutes into this game, but I can already tell you that Pawn is a god of Echo. Because he understands every single aspect of the animation cancelling on the champion. He's mechanically excelling. And because he is 2-0 up, that only spells bad things to come. As Punish doesn't feel like he knows what to do against the mid-Echo.
He's got some good item pickups as well. Sheen being complete as well as Negatron Cloak. Imp has to be a little bit careful. Maker's trying to cut him off. Lands the weirdest bite halfway through the Dark Passage.
You've had some practice, Mako. Klulov's also there, which is why they're hyper-aggressive.
Dev spots it out. PYL flays him backwards, but doesn't decide to follow up.
You can flay them out of the tunnels. And so perhaps that's what he was looking towards, but Klulov didn't need to use it. Still farming well in that jungle role. However, Amy is keeping up pace, if not besting him.
Yeah, Amy's actually looking for the components of the Trinity Force. So the hook does come out from PYL right as Def almost Arcane shifts into it. Good sidestep, avoids the damage there. As now, there's going to be a Hecarim and a Rek'Sai up on the top side of the map, as well as a teleport coming in on top of the tunnel. Here comes Amy to try and counter this game. Good hook comes out from PYL, as well as an exhaust on towards Def. Mako is going to be the first to fall as Pawn jumps in. Here comes Marin as well. It's a huge fight underneath the turret for LGD as the equalizer will come down, but it's a double kill that comes out for Amy. And here comes Punish up to the top side of the map. Def already has to flash away. The Hecarim is chasing on forwards. EDG might have bit off a little bit more than they could chew. Amy is going in, but Def takes him down. Mouse picks up the kill. EDG somehow still fighting this one. Chaos Storm will take down Def, and Mouse somehow escapes. Still, LGD come out on top.
Def had heal that entire time, and he just used it when it was irrelevant towards the back end of it. Yeah, they get a kill onto that Hecarim. Amy by itself way more than he should be, but LGD win the fight. That is really impressive stuff from this team. Once again, at 11 minutes. Taking it to our best team in the LPL.
They certainly have. They picked up a gold lead for themselves after that fight too. My goodness. We're going to take a look at that one again, Rusty.
And it felt like LGD were very much prepared for this. PYL gets super low, but because the Hecarim was already here, they can take out Mako before it kicks off. Pawn can't use his ultimate because he was feared by the Heck ult and then knocked into Marin's combo. And Mouse gets in a little bit too late, uses his combo with that equalizer also too late. They just don't get the kills they were looking for.
Good timing from Marin as well, teleporting in with the ultimate. Imp actually used his heal to save PYL too. You got a good box, a good flay, a good hook, and a great exhaust.
But again, being prepared for that was exactly what LGD were. They knew they were getting dove in advance. Klulov spent a lot of time just hanging out near that top lane. The decision was made. They can time Marin's Mega Gnar with the teleport as well, knowing that far in advance that it was going to happen. Yes, it was really well done individually from Marin to have it, and because the team knew it was happening, they can react accordingly.
LGD swap out and send Imp and PYL to the bottom side of the map, but Klulov and Mouse are here as well as Pawn. They're going to try and jump in with the parallel convergence, land on top of him. Lots of damage goes down. Equalizer as well. Pawn is able to take him down, but is going to get hooked backwards. Has to use the ultimate to escape. They get lots of damage on towards Amy as well, as PYL still looking to be aggressive, but a good fight from EDG.
Yeah, very well done again from EDG.
Ooh.
That was close. But they don't get the kill. Moko lives, and Imp does not. Almost Amy going down. PYL was close enough to dying also. Once again, the turnaround, the proactivity is now being matched. That tempo is being increased. EDG is setting the pace. They're no longer reacting.
Certainly are. Instead, even in terms of gold throws, like we mentioned earlier, LGD did swap out and send their top laner to the top side of the map. Dragon is going to get started here by EDG.
On a ward. Punish can come in and collapse on them.
This is very low though. Clearlove looking to try and take it down. He is punished, looking to see if he can get anything done against Clearlove. He actually locks him down with the gravity field, pops the ultimate off, and LGD pick up a kill.
Yeah, they get the kill. Of course, the tunnel got cancelled by that stun. Mistake from Clearlove. He probably could have got out alive, but he committed for the Drake. They got what they came for. Once again, that opportunity is now there for LGD to try and work the map, but I don't think they want to try too hard to do it. They're not just at a point where they can all in yet.
Mara looking to try and take down red buff for himself, cutting this one backwards as Mini Na, as EDG follows suit with LGD and swap their bottom lane down towards the bottom side of the map.
Of course, an item spike for Deft in the way of the Iceborne Gauntlet means that he can control the minion waves and Imp far more effectively.
Early Ocean Dragon as well means Ezreal's going to be topped off quite nicely once he's out of combat.
It definitely does.
Stack up the tier pretty well. So that red buff was picked up by Marin, so Mouse is going to go into the standard lanes against this Na, who has the Hex Drinker and Spectrus Cowl.
And red buff and all of the resources in the world, they are giving Marin a pedestal.
And that, quite frankly, feels like how LGD need to win their game. He's put a lot of resources into Marin, get him snowballing, get him ahead.
Yeah, he's gone straight into the magic resistance also. Meaning that he can deal with Pawn, he can deal with Mouse. It doesn't actually matter who's split pushing against him at this stage. He's equipped to deal.
Speaking of Pawn, he did get his blue buff away from Clearlove, who donates that one over. Deft. Get some good damage down towards PYL. Both the Mystic Shot and the Winter's Bite missing. Punish was trying to look for a rotate towards the bottom lane.
So aggressive, Deft. He knows exactly how much he can do and when he can do it. Whoa!
That's a big flash forward coming out from PYL. The Arcane Shield is already being used by Deft. He's trying to go toe-to-toe, but he's not back in towards the turret.
Now Marin.
Here comes Marin. They want Mako as well. Amy ghosted for this one. The slow's going to come down. The Hyper's being procced, and a double kill comes out for Imp.
And where has this LGD been all of my life? Honestly, Marin with the teleport to secure the second kill, but most importantly, PYL knows that they can fight. They are planning these things in advance. Really well done once again. There are answers for EDG though.
Pawn is able to get lots of damage on towards Punish, locks him down to power conversion. That's lots of burst that comes out. Pawn only able to barely escape with his ultimate. Now Clearlove's been locked up. The flame out of the tunnel comes out from PYL as he somehow managed to get back over that one. Teleport will come in from Mouse, trying to deter the fight from LGD. And meanwhile, Imp is still able to take down a turret.
It does deter the fight, but you're right, a turret goes, as does the mid lane, to be fair. So EDG are trading consistently. The gold lead is there for LGD, though, at 16 minutes. Fortunately for EDG, it's not growing.
And LGD have really showed up so far. Amy looking very proactive. Marin looking good, punished. He has been jumped on a few times by Pawn, but stands his ground. And Imp, he's looking strong in his signature champion.
And it feels like it's PYL actually just giving direction to this fact. Yes, he's a 4-2-4 Hecarim, but he's standing in the right places because it involves PYL and Imp. EDG's strategy with a 3-1 mid laner could be to work around him, but they just want to keep that strength as a strength, as Mouse now in a bit of trouble.
Getting dove here by Amy, who runs up. There was the ultimate being popped there, but that's lots of damage. The flash pull from Mouse gets a kill. LGD Marin will be able to pick up one in return, but now he's getting jumped up by an Echo, and a Rek'Sai has to flash over the wall. We'll have hop back up in a second. Looks like Clearlove's going to try and chase him down. Throws out the Prey Seeker, which procs his Hex Drinker. They do trade 1 for 1.
And Mouse still making the best out of bad situations. I feel like if we swapped name tags, it makes more sense in this game.
Yep.
Mouse, for some reason, getting trades when being consistently dove. Usually that's Marin's job in LGD.
And it is one of his signature champions as well, this Rumble. A fantastic run with it in 2015.
Yeah, yet the shoe is on the other foot. Marin on the Gnar instead. Has shown fantastic play on it so far, but needs to consolidate that as the game progresses. Otherwise, EDG, they can hit that 20-minute mark. They can just walk over you.
Turret at the bottom side of the map, taking a lot of damage here. It will fall down shortly for EDG if they just keep pushing. And to start this game off, it no longer looks like a top of the table against a bottom of the table clash. These two teams both looking great so far.
I feel like we've said this all the time, though. It's like EDG are consistently good. They may be making a couple of over-aggressive mistakes and disrespecting their opponents, but LGD have stars, and they can keep up.
Well, PYL actually missing the hook. They're going to get taken down by Deft as PYL locks him up. Imp now in a little bit of trouble as Mouse going to Hex Protobelt forward, looking for the Harpoons on towards the AD carry. But Pawn, meanwhile, is looking to try and duke it out with Punish. Puts down the parallel convergence. Will get juked out away by the Victor. Good trades coming out from the LGD mid laner. An ultimate from Pawn will keep him safe.
And Punished barely lives.
Equalizer is going to be dropped on top of it though as Pawn flashes forward with the Time Winder. Hits him. Forces Amy to even use his ultimate to get to safety.
Once again, Pawn is just putting on a clinic. Mouse is the catalyst to this success, but forcing everything out of Punish. No summoners to keep him up. Pawn can just come back in and secure it. 4-1 now on this Echo.
The gold lead for LGD is slowly slipping away as EDG fight back and fight back strong.
Yeah, it was 2,000. It's now 0.
20 seconds until the next Ocean Dragon spawns. EDG have their eyes set towards it. LGD probably would not want to give this one up without a fight. Marin actually finds Clear Love. Going to go hyper and actually jump aggressively forward to get some damage onto the Rex side.
Still doing a lot of work here, but waiting for his Black Cleaver, Marin, as he built himself up all of the resistances to combat who he's going to be laning against, but that damage was lacking.
He does have the Black Cleaver now. Picks up cloth armor as well. It's probably going to pick up an armor item next, most likely the Rando and Zoman.
Yeah, and he now has kill threat. He also provides kill threat for Imp, who's playing a long-ranged AD carry. If you get the Black Cleaver stacks onto the enemy, they have reduced armor, and then Imp's damage will just be exponentially increased, given his flat armor penetration. Will actually be close to true damage.
Ocean Dragon has been started by EDG. Death actually arcane shifting into the back of the pit. Teleport is going to be coming in from Marin looking for the flank. Dragon does fall down though. Mouse and Cleanup are going to try and fight this one out. Pawn has to use the ultimate early just to stay alive. A good equalizer separates the team. Meganar going to knock people back, but now they're collapsing on top of him. Meanwhile, Death is actually in the front lines.
Look at him.
Shifts forward. Imp's going to try and go in deep, but he's going to take it down really low. Pawn has to be exhausted. Amy jumps on top of it with the ultimate. Death is still there trying to fight. Double kill comes up from him. He's trying to kite them backwards, but there's the gravity field. A triple kill comes out for him as he goes off on his Twitch.
An LGD winner team fight. They do lose the Drake once again to EDG. They're still playing to their win conditions as a team, Edward Gaming, but LGD are fighting strong. This legendary performance, honestly, from all of them. Amy forcing ultimates out of Pawn early. That's a big deal, because that comes back to haunt them. Marin, with the last couple of seconds, gets the ultimate off. And even though he dies, he did his part. Imp actually flashes knowing that this fight is theirs early. That's against a full health, red buffed Deft. They are so confident as a team right now. And Deft almost gets all of them. It was really clutch that they got that at all.
Top of that, Klilov, he was actually burrowed the entire team fight, was locked down quite efficiently from that Nah. He even shows in his damage dealt during that team fight, even less than Mako, as Imp tops the charts on the Twitch.
Exactly. We spoke towards what the Black Cleaver again can do for Marin and how it reduces the armor of everybody. Imp can just destroy their health bars.
He's been doing well so far with this champion. LGD looking very strong, if not, at the very least, putting up a very good fight here against EDG. They've brought the gold lead back again. They're now 2,000 gold up ahead of EDG once more.
I hate that we're 22 minutes into this game, and in the back of my mind is, are they back? The answer is never yes, but right now it looks like it.
Never know. Have to see how this game pans out. Dev still looking very good on this Ezreal, looking for his Blade of the Ruined King as his next item. Already has the Iceborne Gauntlet as well as the Mana Mute completed. Zhonya's Hourglass has been picked up by Mouse as well, so going to look to see if that Rumble can be a little bit more aggressive. As Marin actually has a flank, not Meganar just yet, but he's going to proc the Hyper a couple of times on top of Mako.
And he's able to quickly charge that one. A lot of attack speed and damage coming out of him.
He's almost Mega.
It isn't coinciding with any objectives to be taken, though. EDG were just a little bit too pushed in the middle lane. And they do get out. Clear Love as well, something we didn't mention, is the strength of this Rek'Sai pick into the Twitch. The sonar radar is able to spot him at all times.
Amy actually started on Baron buff there, and I was a little bit confused by him because he's got no jungle item at all. Not even the tier 1 jungle item. Straight up Trinity Force.
Yeah, nice. That's you do, man. That's it. There is absolutely no justification for that.
We've seen SOFM just have the Hunter's Talisman to start things off. He's got nothing. He sold it.
Did he sell it for a chain vest as well? Is that what I'm currently seeing? What an inefficient human being. That has to be a mistake.
So. I don't know what he's done. I would have to go back and watch the VOD, see what he's
tilted
with it. Well, he's got a Hunter's Potion, Rusty. Just not getting the experience anymore.
Well, what's he hunting? He's a laner. Where's your bonus experience, Amy? What is this?
He is a curious man, Amy. Probably his motivation to get out of the jungle a little bit more.
Honestly, I'm just confused.
This pawn actually looking to try and see if he can get the jump on towards Marin. Pops down the parallel conversions. Doesn't find him in the jungle.
LGD still looking quite aggressive, though. It feels like it's coinciding with EDG's strategy, however. They're basically meeting each other at the same time. We spoke towards the history of these teams. It's rich. It feels like LGD have shown up to play.
Doubles on his Hourglass coming out from EDG, so both of their APS carries have the utility to escape some damage. No Locket coming out from LGD yet, though.
Yeah, Face of the Mountain from Mako at the moment, and Rush the Ruby Sightstone. Prioritizing vision on the arrow. It also means that they're going to be a heavy rotation-based team. They want to constantly be going from buff to buff or pressuring LGD out of the jungle through increased vision placement. But that was indefinitely matched by LGD. They're actually coinciding with builds. It's different. It's not that it doesn't make sense, but this is very 2015 from both of them. The Zonias also means that we now have tanks out of non-tanks, effectively. In other words, positioning in teamfights can be far more forward because you've got that activatable item to keep yourself alive for 2 seconds in the golden stasis.
It's Def chases Kulov away from his farm mid lane. Picks up a level for it, still looking for his Blade of the Ruined King, which is a major power spike for Ezreal.
Yeah, if you're thinking about damage to champions, he does need that one to take out Marin, to take out Amy.
Top of that, not much resistance coming out from him, just a 2-chain vest, one from Amy, one from Marin.
He will be doing a lot of damage.
And that is completed, so now has the Blade of the Ruined King. We'll have to see VDG use that as the time for them to start a team fight.
So that's 2 Randuin's Omens, a Blade of the Ruined King. Sorry, Zoni's Hourglass, a Randuin's Omen, Blade of the Ruined King. EDG have actually got a lot of team fighting applicable items. But looking at what they're against, I'm not sure if they can outright do it.
Let's see if they do. LGD still have 1,600 gold in their favor up against EDG. Dragon's coming up in 4 seconds. I believe that's another Ocean Dragon. EDG already stacking 2. Third would be pretty nice, especially with an Ezreal on your lineup. Oh, it's Cloud.
You've been party pooped. Unlucky. That's unfortunate as well. If EDG had been able to find themselves a 3rd Ocean Drake, or at least a fight around it, it could have coincided with their item timings. LGD might use this as an opportunity to fight, though.
EDG not looking to force it, though.
Just going to hang out.
Imp still farming in this mid lane, has 3 major items picked up as well. More amount, more TCO.
Oh, they got Amy.
But Amy forced to use the ultimate to run away. Now PYL forced to flash out of the parallel convergence. A good start of a fight for EDG. LGD disengaged successfully. This is given over the Cloud Dragon.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, it is only the Cloud that they're giving over. So the fact that nobody died, LGD can count their blessings. They can start again. Next time, just don't make that mistake and getting caught out.
And immediately they do send Rumble up into the top side of the map to go up against Marin. He's busy taking a blue buff for himself now.
Yeah, and my thing with this is now that there's no Drake to look towards and we're 27 minutes into game number 1, LGD's attention should actually be on the Baron. And so what they should be doing now is putting the Gnar to the bottom side of the map, utilizing his teleport. EDG's response to this, however, knowing that the Baron is a point of priority, is actually to have the Echo down there. Perhaps he has a higher kill threat than that of Mouse, who wants to be involved in these teamfights from the get-go because the ultimate is invaluable.
Still very quiet between these two teams. Just as someone a spell burnt in the last couple of seconds, or a couple of minutes. As Mako heads in to try and clear the Baron pick, gets tagged, but the laser from Victor has to fight Baron. Doesn't enjoy himself. Dev still farming this mid lane, so picking up quite a substantial amount of farm for himself. He's 30 over Imp at the moment.
Yeah, and because he's in the mid lane, once again, we're looking at EDG enacting the 1-3-1 composition, utilizing that Echo and potentially Rumble in the side lanes. I'm actually expecting to see them still have 4 people grouped with the Rumble there. We already spoke to why that's important, but it does indicate that they want pawn in a side lane. He has a lot of teamfight relevance.
Mako getting get spotted out by the Dark Passage, thrown it towards the bush. Finds the pink ward as well.
And the pace is slowed down because once again we're looking at vision control. Whoever can see the most on the map can start these fights off.
Well, PYL finds Mako. He's able to jump out of the gravity field as Def will take it down the pink ward. Throws out the true shot barrage. Only clips PYL. Imp gonna get spotted out by the Tremor Sensor. They know he's there. Gonna try and jump on top of Def, but here comes Cluelove. Gets the flash and the knock up. Imp in a lot of trouble. Amy trying to separate Def from the back of the rest of the team. Marin now jumping on top of him. Rumble's able to take down him in the meantime. They're committing 2 members on top of Def. Both 80 carriers are gone, and now LGD have to flank. Marin does have Mega Gnar as well. He's looking to see if he can get the ultimate off his Cluelove. Gonna get locked down. Gonna get stunned up by Marin as well. They're gonna find another kill as there goes Marin. Tries to jump in, but does get slowed and stunned. Dark Passage going to get him even closer to the team. Time Winder going to slow down even more as Hyper does come up as soon as he gets out of Mega Gnar. But still, a good fight from LGD.
Yeah, another fantastic fight from LGD because they focus Def and they take him down. Mouse and Pawn are still alive and they still do a lot of damage. That's actually an abundance of Baron threat. But the fight timing coincides really well with LGD and disengaging to clear side lanes to reset the map, actually utilize their advantages they now have to place better vision, and start from scratch where they're the ones in control. Still positive movements from this team, and Pawn's just not getting it done at the moment.
Punish doing a lot of damage in that team fight. I mean, that was a fight where Def was able to, yes, get lots of damage on towards Imp, but then he was just separated from his team. No Mako, no Clearlove, no Pawn to help him out. He was a sitting duck.
But EDG's recipe right now for success is coinciding with LGD's focus onto Deft. If they can take out that AD carry, stop him from doing all the damage that he wants to be doing, then it feels like EDG just don't win these games as effectively.
And LGD have grown a nice gold lead for themselves as well. They're now 2,000, close to 3,000 gold up ahead of EDG. So that's getting better and better, but it's still small leads, but they're making the most of it in these last few team fights.
They're winning fights, but they're not winning impactful fights, and they don't mean anything. It's Imp going too aggressive in the middle lane, getting caught out of position, but then EDG committing to that fight, which turns it around. And again, because they're fighting in the middle lane, they can't go straight to the Baron Pit if everyone doesn't die. And it's too hard to kill everybody on the side of EDG. It's actually just really difficult.
Well, Last Whisper's finally been picked up for both 80 carries, can be able to shred through the front line. As you see, Deadman's Plate has been picked up by Marin. No Rainbow's Omen, no crit dealers for the side of EDG.
Bonus move speed, bonus damage. Prioritizing his catching of people.
Amy doing the same, still sitting on the components though. His Lich Bane actually being completed by Pawn. Marin gets the Hyper and some good damage on towards Mako. Has to jump away, take the Dark Passage to safety. EDG might actually look for a fight onto the backside. Amy's being jumped on. Parallel Conversions goes down, trying to separate him from the Victor. Does have a good shield as he's trying to dash on him forward. LGD do disengage successfully, but EDG still looking like they're a huge threat here.
Yeah, they're pushing really forward at the moment. They're working around the Echo with his Lich Bane. He's able to push Amy off. I don't think EDG will immediately start this one. That's a risk. But it's all about having that vision first.
So once again, Punish tags up the Baron, gets a little bit angry and tries to fight Clearlove. He's having none of that. The Void Buddy's not happy today.
We're still looking at this. Pink ward control. Vision control. An Echo needs 3 seconds of setup time. And even after a couple of seconds, it tells them that you're there. And so it needs to be impeccable.
Def tries to get the slow on towards Marin, gets blocked by a minion. It's a little bit of an ARAM going on between LGD and EG at the moment, just sitting around the mid lane, clearing out back and forth. They're looking to try and get a gank out here. Clearlove aggressively tunnels over the wall. PYL throws out a hook, does not connect onto the EDG's jungler.
Yeah, it's 5 mid, clear wave, and then pivot. But because EDG are clearing that wave and LGD are left respondent, they get control of the Baron Pit as such, and that residual effect that's now left there is that EDG are controlling LGD's pace.
Dragon's up in 3 seconds. Didn't catch what that one was, but lots of pings are coming out for it from LGD. It's another Ocean Dragon, and the final Elemental Dragon of the game as well. Marin tags it up. Looks like he wants to try and take this one down. No, decides he wants to join his team for another ARAM battle in the mid lane.
Yeah, and again, minutes in advance is how EDG was looking at this one. Knowing that it's an Ocean Drake, they put everything into the Baron. Even as the Ocean spawns, they set up vision at the Baron. Looks like they actually want to contest this third Ocean, though.
Punish actually putting the ultimate down on towards Def. Actually takes him down. So much damage coming out from Victor. As the Ocean Dragon is going to be taken by LGD. They're now 5 men strong with Meganar available for LGD. They're looking to try and look for another fight or at least push here.
He just got deleted. He has heal and flash up. He has everything available and he doesn't use them, just dies. Punished. That was a lot of damage coming out of the Victor. And it was a fadeaway with the Lantern take.
And you spoke about LGD playing to their win condition here, which is obliterate Def before a team fight. They're doing that really well. They just did it once again. Punish was able to solo him out. It's looking good for LGD.
They're actually picking on him. And Deft is now on 5 deaths. He thinks that he can take these fights on. And even if he couldn't win that fight, he was out of it. From that point onwards, he would have had no health or he would have flashed to safety. And stuck just dealing with what LGD do. And because they get that objective with it this time, LGD starting to up the pace themselves, giving themselves real win conditions and denying them of EDG.
Let's see what EDG can do in response, because LGD looking phenomenal so far. Made lots of jokes about their draft and the draft phases they pick for themselves, it seems, but it's been coming together quite well for the team.
Yeah, and it's more just picking what they're comfortable on as well. Yeah, it picked for themselves. It's actually very selfish, and it's not an efficient way to draft anything in League of Legends. But it works because they are on their best champions.
Who knows? It could just be the way they wanted to draft and coincidentally land on the champions they were playing.
I refuse to believe that's why.
It's working for LGD. They're looking good in a game against EDG.
Im's still the exploitable factor the more that I'm looking at this game. Mouse, of course, level 16. He may not be the 18 of Marin, but he's got the ult to level 3. He knows. They both know. It's the red buff that they want.
Marin knows more, though. Steph's going to be able to try and take this one away. Marin looking for the snipe steal. PYL in a little bit of trouble. His Spawn's going to be able to lock him down into parallel convergence. Good flay and good hook will come out from PYL. The ultimate actually gets popped by Pawn to try and get back to safety. LGD now looking for the fight themselves. Mako in a bit of trouble. Marin with his Mega Gnar coming out shortly, looking to get into the backlines. There's the Mega Gnar. Gets a massive ultimate as Gnar gonna knock everyone down as a double kill will come out for Im. Everyone from EDG now just has to run away as the triple kill comes down. LGD set up that team fight so well.
They get a sick execution with that Mega Gnar. Imp hitting them the entire time. And LGD are just showing up huge in this game. It looks like they may even try and finish with this inhibitor take and the minion wave.
It's possible that LGD could just push for the win. That minion wave is going to crash on towards the turret. Clearlove and Mouse are trying to do what they can to stop this wave from getting any closer. But the Nexus turrets are falling. Amy's still alive. The final turret will fall. The Nexus is going to go down. And game number 1 is going to fall for LGD against EDG.
Said never sleep on them. That's exactly why. They have the capabilities, they have the roster, and they have the skill to take it to the best team in the LPL and beat them convincingly with team fights over and over, batter them down until it was just an easy victory. But they actually did it.
And it looked good to start from LGD. We saw proactive play coming out from Amy. He was helping out his top laner, even though it was turned around by EDG, getting a double kill for 1 in that bottom lane. He was able to continue that proactive play, and LGD were just set up from success from the very start of that game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they played towards Marin. They played towards their strongest player. They actually got him going, and he was on Gnar, so he can impact the rest of the map. And it's so satisfying to see team fights where Gnar is successfully getting things off, and it's playing to EDG. It feels like when you watch EDG play, they need to get things done. They don't just sit on their hands. They're playing for the next objective, for the next movement on the map. But LGD are always there, and it's not that EDG are one step ahead. It's that LGD are waiting for it to happen to take them out.
They certainly are. That highlight you just saw on your screens was where it really started for LGD as well, because they were able to counter out a gank that was set up by EDG so well in advance, and they turned the game on their heads right here. EDG did fight back nice and strong. This was one of the... No, this was actually LGD once again. I thought this was the talent that came up from EDG that went out strong. This is once again proactive play from PYL and Amy.
Yeah, absolutely. And every time we're seeing a lot of these early game highlights, it's actually movements from the bottom lane of LGD having the rest of their team collapsing. And it does feel like early game shot calling revolves around PYL's decision making. These are the big teleport flanks, though, from Marin. when it comes down to individual performance, you can see he always hits the mark. And this is nothing compared to that last team fight that LGD had. He just comes up huge and lets Imp free hit on a Twitch with Hurricane.
And it feels like that's what Imp was doing every single team fight, in the perfect position to capitalize on brilliant plays coming out from Marin.
Yeah, absolutely right. And it just did not stop there. Honestly, LGD have shown up so big. This is the fight, I believe. Big flank from the Nah. You can see him on your minimap working his way in.
Oof.
They collapse onto Mako, and him being dead is actually a good sign to go. Ridiculous, honestly. It was all 4 members. Of course, Mako was already dead. But the confidence with which Marin carries himself on this champion, even the level 6 collapse where he used the mini Nah dash and then threw him, like scooped him backwards at the same time, was impeccable.
Marin was fantastic in the game. So were the rest of LGD as they pick up game number 1 against EDG. We'll be back in about 5 minutes for the second match, and let's see if LGD can continue this form.